Hello everyone, and welcome to a sealed video on MTG Arena. The set just finished downloading not even 5 minutes ago, so I thought I'd record the very first thing that I did when I got in here. I don't have any of the new cards yet, obviously, so I figured I'll start with some sealed, but go ahead and get back to my normal constructed videos pretty shortly. So, for rares, we got Cindervines, which I don't think is very good. This feels like they're trying to make an anti-combo card, but that doesn't really matter in sealed. I don't think this is very good either. Yeah. Basically, your average card would have to be enormous to make this worth playing. Benthic Biomancer is fine, but this is more of a constructed card. Growth Chamber Guardian is thoroughly okay. Not very good in sealed, since we can't have more copies, but a 2/2 for 2 isn't the worst thing in the world, and then it can grow to be a 4/4 later. So basically, the rares here I'm excited by are Incubation Druid, just a good mana ramp card that can also become a serious threat and make tons of mana later, and Pestilent Spirit, because this is just a very good rate, and then also, maybe we make a black-red deck and suddenly all our burn spells become kill spells, and that sounds pretty good. Oh my. This is not the part of sealed I love, because it's really hard to get a feel for all the cards you have, especially because, like, it's sorted by color, and then we get to all the gold cards. So I'll start with the lands since I'm here. A couple Guild Gates is good, one of a few of the others less good. So Gruul is going to have our best mana, these will be okay. I'm actually going to start by looking at the gold cards, because on average, multicolored cards are stronger than mono, and so these are good signposts to see where you want to be. This is a hybrid card, but I don't think that's very good. Yeah, not in love with that card. So, I think this is pretty good. Like, a pump spell plus a bounce spell at the same time. If you're already in blue-green, I think this is a fine card. I think Aeromunculus is quite good. This is above the normal Wind Drake line of cards that you're willing to play, and then it can get bigger in the late game, so that's cool. Growth Spiral, probably okay. Pretty fine filler. The Combine Guildmage. This, I think, is really important in a good Simic deck because of the second ability, the ability to move counters around. So the fact that I can have my Aeromunculus be a 3/4, move the counter onto something else with the Guildmage, and then activate its Adapt again, seems like it'll just give you an inevitable late game that other people can't compete with. Then finally, the card that I'm actually excited about for blue-green is Frilled Mystic. This is Mystic Snake, but basically better. A little harder to cast, but that's fine. Yeah, so Simic gold cards, not bad. While I'm thinking of it, I'm going to move over and check out our blue-green to see if I'm still excited about Simic when I look at our monocolored cards. Benthic Biomancer, as I said, I think it's quite good. Fairy Duelist, I think, is also quite good. This can mess up people's combat, and it's also a flash threat. Works really well with the Adapt abilities, because I hold up 2 mana, and my opponent doesn't know if I'm planning to just grow my Biomancer, or if I'm going to flash in the Fairy. So that seems pretty cool. This is nothing, not going to play that. This is pretty good. A bounce spell that cantrips. Sometimes you'll use it as an instant, so the flexibility is nice, but most of the time, you'll just use this as a sorcery and draw the card. I mean, it's cancel, it's playable. Not super impressive, but fine. This is probably actually pretty good, if I had to guess. In the Simic deck, it's like Wonder, just gives all my creatures flying. Because I can't imagine it's that hard if I'm playing cards like the Biomancer to keep counters on them. Skitter Eel, probably thoroughly whatever, filler. It's okay. I think this card's actually really good. It's like the biggest Frost Lynx ever. We don't have any, like, auras or anything, so there aren't really good ones in this format, so Humongous isn't very good. And this is probably fine. It's got, like, the Griptide type of thing, but then can also bounce a creature, so probably okay. So our blue isn't bad, but we don't have much of it. Let's look at our green. Okay, this is sort of like that, the Dryad creature from Shadows over Innistrad can block early and can work with someone else to make mana. That art is really pretty, too. Good job, Howard Leon. Gift of Strength, fine. Combat Trick, already mentioned the Guardian, probably okay. Incubation Druid, very good card. Particularly, the ability to move a counter onto this with our Guild Mage could be powerful, because we have a lot of adapt cards, and so this being like a Gilded Lotus that taps for 3 is going to come up a lot. This, no. That's not what we're doing. This would be a sideboard card, but I believe this format is best of 1, so maybe we play one. If I knew the format better, I would feel confident about whether or not I was supposed to play this in the main deck. I don't know how important flyers are yet, so I would probably leave it on the bench the first time. This is okay. 4/2s for 3 are never as good as they look. They just get blocked. But the fact that you can jump this once they have blockers is actually pretty good. This is fine, filler, whatever. And a big spider. Okay. So I like our Simic deck. I'm interested in playing that. Let's look at our other gold cards. Another reason to play this is because we have so many good Simic cards. Whereas you look, we only have 2 Gruul cards. And like, yeah, neither of these are terribly impressive. So, not super interested in Gruul. I'll check our red. If our red's incredible, then maybe we'll be Gruul, but I doubt it. This is the Demolish type card that they always put in red, and it messes up your sealed decks because you don't have enough red commons. Probably not very good. Fine Combat Trick. Feral Maka, whatever. It's just a bear. Of course, we got 3 of the most boring common possible. We also got 3 of these, and I think these are better, but like not that much better. 4 mana is a lot for that ability. Burning Tree Vandal. I think this card's okay. I don't know. I don't think it's that good. Gates Ablaze, if we were playing 5-color Gates, which maybe we should consider, but our pool seems to be mostly creature focused, so I doubt that's what we want to be doing, but I could see that being a thing. This is the thing that makes a lot of goblins, but we only have 1 copy, so probably not very good. This card is excellent, but it doesn't look like we have the support for it. So yeah, red, unimpressive. Let's see if we have good Rakdos cards. Cult Guild Mage, fine. I don't think this is that good of a Guild Mage. And this is also just okay. Footlight Fiend is pretty good. As if you're gonna have a 1-drop, being able to trade with bigger things or possibly 2 for 1 your opponent is really important, but I think this card's better in Constructed. So, Rakdos also unimpressive. Let's look over our black. We barely have any black, so probably not. Yeah. We don't... Like, I guess we have a couple black removal spells, but they are not impressive, so... Alright. Rakdos, not very good. Mortify and Final Payment are good. I'm going to check out our white real quick. As you notice, I'm moving through these more quickly now, because I have an idea of what our good cards are, and so I'm spending less time examining colors I don't think we're likely to play. But let's check out our white, just because we got some pretty good Orzhov cards. Meh, not anything impressive. Fine filler. Fine filler. Summary Judgment. This card's probably pretty good. So yeah, our black-white has really good removal, at least. Yeah, along with Bring to Trial. It's probably a better sideboard card, but we don't sideboard. This card, I think, is going to be good in Constructed in one way or another. I just know I'm going to lose to basically getting fogged by this weird Ghostly Prison. And this wouldn't be bad if we had a lot of flyers, but I don't think we're going to have that many, no matter what we do. I think this is probably actually quite good with the Afterlife one. Yeah. Our black-white has a lot of removal. So, at this point, I'm fairly certain... Because most of our blue cards are Simic cards, rather than, like, good Azorius stuff. I guess we'll check out the Azorius gold cards real quick. This is probably very good. I imagine it'll just slowly kill people while blocking very well. This is fine. Nothing impressive. Again, decent rate flyer. Not super impressive, but fine. This card is actually a pretty serious card advantage engine. I wonder what our blue-white splash black deck looks like. This is interesting to me. So I think, after looking at all of our stuff, our red is terrible, and our... Yeah, that's basically the most important thing. So I think our best decks would either be blue-white splash black, because I don't think blue-white has enough on its own, but the black adds some serious power between these and the actual removal spells. But there isn't enough black to be the main color. So I think we are either blue-white splash black or blue-green. I'm going to start by building the blue-green deck, because the mana for that will be better. The mana for that will be better. Okay, cool, it auto-fills in the lands. Than a 3-color deck. So if I could come up with a blue-green deck that I'm really happy with, then that will probably be what I want to do. I don't know if we're supposed to play these. Maybe. Just to keep us alive early, and then late game it can make mana for our big mana cost stuff. Torrent seems good. Maybe play like one Thought Collapse. We don't need too much of that. It gets a little better. I suppose these get a lot better in general with all of our Adapt. Like, we can hold up mana to counter stuff, or we have other stuff to do, so... It's probably better than I'm giving it credit for. Okay, so our blue-green has enough cards. We can even cut one of these, caretakers, because I think they're pretty low impact, but... I think this actually looks like a good deck. We've got a lot of evasion, like we can fly over what they're doing. We have the ability to go over the top with big creatures while also holding up mana for interaction. So yeah, I think this deck looks pretty good, but before I... Is there any way to save this? I'm not sure if I can save other builds. Give me 1 second and I'll figure this out. Okay. So it doesn't appear that you can save multiple builds, but that's not that important, because I'm just going to go back to the blue-green build. If you look here, I've got 26 cards here, so I haven't even finished cutting, but I just really don't like the look of this version for a few reasons. We have a lot of removal, but our threats are so much worse. Like, we don't have a lot of the same cool stuff that I liked about the other version. And here's the most important thing, which is actually what I brought up right at the beginning. And that's that the only guild gate we didn't get any of was the Orzhov guild gate. So the only fixing for this 3-color deck is a single Azorius guild gate. And that means that the mana is going to be quite bad. And, like, I don't think this list looks enough better despite the bad mana to warrant playing it this way. Even if we cut the black cards, which I think is unfortunate because I think those were some of the best ones, now I can probably find another filler card to go up to 23 and play this blue-white deck, but this just doesn't look as good to me. We've still got some of our Adapt and Flash creatures, but we don't have the synergies that make them more powerful. We've got some good stuff, like I think Dovin's Acuity can probably draw you a whole bunch of cards, but that's so slow. I would rather just make my flyers bigger and kill my opponent. So I'm going to switch back to the blue-green build, and then we'll be ready to start. Okay, back for real this time. We've got what I think is a good build here. We've got a good curve. It's a little misleading because we've got some things that we don't necessarily want to play on too. But basically we've got a lot of early plays, some powerful top end in like the Chillbringer and the Spider. We've got some card advantage kind of baked in with things like Frilled Mystic, and hopefully just our creatures will become powerful enough through things like Adapt that we can just overwhelm the opponent. We're a little short on removal, so that's unfortunate, but we've got a bounce spell, a sort of bounce spell that's also a... I always just think of Grip Tide, because that's around when I started playing Magic. And Chillbringer can frost things down. And we also don't necessarily need as much evasion, because we've got a lot of flying in our deck. Almost every creature can fly with the Skatewing Spy, and a lot of creatures just have it. So, overall, I think this deck looks good. Maybe I've completely misread the format, and we're about to get our teeth smashed in, but we'll find out one way or another. Okay, first match of the new format. I'm excited. Well, I was excited, and then I saw this hand. Jeez. Can I keep this on the draw? I don't think I should. I think our deck's better than that. Maybe if we even had, like, blue, blue, green, green, so I was guaranteed this, but I think that's just too bad. This hand's a lot better. Sure. Third land seems good. This is one card I didn't talk about at first, and that was an error. You need to consider your hybrid cards, even if you're not playing both of the hybrid colors. And I think a 3/2 flyer for 4 that scries is good enough, so I am happy to play this at 2 UU, even though my deck can't make any white mana. But yeah, here, Guardian into Aeromunculus. Okay, sure. Opponent also playing blue-green. Man, the new Shocklands look so nice. They especially look nice on the battlefield, like in this little box. They just shrink down very well. I'm gonna go ahead and take it. Our creature's better than theirs. We don't need to trade this off early. Especially because... Oh, well, I might have liked that earlier, but... this is an instant, so this attack is safe. Even if they have something weird, I can protect my Guardian. They don't, and so they didn't play anything on 3. I'm just going to run this out. Maybe they have a counter, but that's fine. And now we have a favorable block. Of course, if they just attack, I probably won't block, because again, we have the better board. Okay. That is powerful. But now they can't attack. They really should have attacked first, if that's what they wanted to do. So, this is where playing Simic starts getting really complicated. We can just attack, and then Gift of Strength means that I can actually eat both of these creatures if they double block, or trade for just one of them if I want. I could also just adapt if they only block with one, so the attack is just kind of safe. I could Arrester's Admonition and just kind of time walk them, but then I don't get to attack with the Growth Chamber Guardian. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to attack first. If they block, I will make their life unhappy one way or another. Like if they double block, I'll just Gift of Strength. Here they did nothing, so I'm going to go ahead and deal 4. I'm ahead on the race, and now I can Arrester's Admonition on this. Yeah. Cool. As I said, we kind of got a time walk there. We ate up their whole turn. They didn't even attack us the turn before, and now we're winning in the race. Yep, they just spent their whole turn doing it again. Oh, well that's just awesome. Again, going to attack. This block is still bad on boards, so they won't do it. I would actually be kind of sad if they blocked, because then I'd have to waste my turn eating their creature. But instead, I get to deal a bunch of damage. And now we're in a super good spot, because either they do nothing, and I grow my creatures. I can probably Growth Spiral and Growth Chamber Guardian. Or they cast a big spell, and I Frilled Mystic, and continue to build my board. Man, I would love to draft and get like 2 or 3 of these or something. Yeah, I think I'm going to say no to what they want to do here. Yes, I will take action. Ooh, that feels so good. Just eat their whole turn, and I also get a creature out of it. I won't block. I am very ahead in this race. Okay, go ahead and play my land. If they want to trade here, that's fine. So, do I want to do something now? Are they dead? See, if I activate this, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then, yeah. So I actually had them dead there, if they don't block. Alright, Simic deck doing its thing. Okay, match 2. Hoping for something a lot like that last one. Maybe without mulliganing, though. This hand is not as good, but still has good stuff going on. We're on the play, so maybe we can afford to be slightly slower. Drawing a Growth Chamber Guardian would be excellent. Yeah, like, I just really like how all these instants play with Adapt. Just, even if paying 4 mana for a counter, and the fact that you can only do it once isn't, like, that great of a deal, it's not incredible, the fact that it plays so well with the instants. Like, normally limited decks don't really like playing with counter spells and stuff, because... Just gonna go ahead and run this out here. Because they don't have anything else to do. Like, you have... Like, let's say I was holding up a counter spell here, if I'd played the island instead of the forest. If they play a spell into it, I counter it, and the game basically doesn't change. But if they don't do anything, and I don't have anything else to do with the mana, then I just haven't gained an advantage. So holding up counter spells isn't good. But in this Simic deck, with things like this, holding up counter spells is awesome. Whenever it attacks... Okay, sure. Basically gives another one of their creatures vigilance, which is less good when another one of their creatures already has vigilance. I think I'm actually just going to pass here, and here's why. Because right now on board, my blocks are good, so I kind of expect them to attack and try to do a combat trick, and then I can apply Biomancy to blow them out, and even if they don't do anything, I can just adapt my Incubation Druid, and then suddenly I have the best creature on the table. So, yeah. The other alternative would be to attack with the Aeromunculus, and just look to block and then activate with this on their turn. The problem with that is then I'm the one who's committing to a play, and so I lose to a combat trick. Enters the battlefield, you may sack a creature. If you do... Okay. I hope they do that, because we have a bunch of bounce spells. Yeah, sure. Yep, sure, get your spirit token, that's fine. They can't really attack here, their attacks are quite bad. Cool, and as I said, we now have the best creature on the battlefield. Ooh. So... Here, really punishing them for committing to a play like that. So now what I'm going to do is now we have a bunch of stuff up. So I'm actually going to attack with this Aeromunculus, because we have both a counter spell in Incubation Druid, because this taps for 3 now, and we also have these cards up. So I can start applying pressure, and I have complete control over this game. If they played this... Do I want to counter that? This is their main phase, so I can't save it with Applied Biomancy. This does deal 5. I kind of want to counter this. I think I need my Aeromunculus. Well, that's unfortunate, because I would much rather have had this one resolve. Well, I guess I just sacrificed my Aeromunculus anyway. This is the better creature now. Okay, so we're gonna take some damage here, but... I don't know. We still can swing back harder. Alright. Now we're in a little bit of trouble. We're going to need to draw something good. Like that! That is a good card to draw. Cool, and now we have all the mana in the world up. Unfortunately, we don't have both of these up if I attack with this. Huh. I suppose we'll just keep getting beaten up by this card, but I think we can afford to take a few more. I basically don't like where the game is going if we attack. So, I'm just gonna pass. Man, I really liked it until they had this as an instant. This battlefield deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you gain 2 life. Yeah, that's probably worth countering. I'd prefer if that didn't happen. Okay, we are running out of gas. It is not great. Oh boy, we are kind of flooded. Drawn 8 lands to their 5. That is not great. That said, I'm going to start applying pressure. If they want to trade here, like, whatever. This already got a full card out of it. I'm fine with that trade. We're now winning the race. And we still have this. I'm not sure if there are good target opponent discards a card effects in this format, but in case there are, I'm going to hold on to a land. Cordia Pegasus, sure. We attack into that very well. This card is not really relevant on this board. That one is. Ooh, that is a good draw. Let's see. Oh, no, I don't want to tap my Incubation Druid. Bad game. Alright, sweet. So, again, holding on to this, especially because we're still leaving up Applied Biomancy. We've got Big Flyer, well, a Big Flyer and a Big Ground Pounder. And if they ever play this again and, like, sack their Spirit or something, then Applied Biomancy is going to look really good. That said, would really love to draw, I don't know, like, let's see if they do this. Yep, sure. Go ahead, sack your Spirit. But yeah, I would really love to draw, like, our Simic Guildmage. If I could start moving counters over here and then activate this again, that would be great. Okay. So, I'm going to do both. Target a creature to get +1/+1 until end of turn. Sure. Bounce their 5-drop again. Sacking creatures to that has really not paid off for them. So yeah, we're kind of in an okay spot just because we have a big flyer and we're racing very well. It's going to be difficult for them to catch up just from getting beaten down by the Chillbringer. I would really like to draw something else. We already went through that. Oh, and remember why I said we were ahead? We're not ahead for that reason anymore. We no longer have a Chillbringer. Oh my. That is a big card. The flood continues. Holy crap, we have drawn so many lands. Well. This is a very good card. This is way better than anything we opened. We still might be okay. I don't know, we need something to go right. Oh my. Well. Oh boy. I think we are dead. Yeah, we're just dead on board. We can't live through this. Man, that is really unfortunate. I felt super ahead, and then we just didn't draw anything for a long time. And even then, I think if they didn't have the removal spell for our Chillbringer, we might have been able to do something with it. But once we lost our pressure and drew nothing, we were just super dead. Okay, match 3. And one thing about this deck, and just Simic decks in general, I talked about how we flooded out and didn't really do anything. But that's just kind of the nature of these decks if you flood out even a little. Like, we have good mana sinks, but I can still only activate this once. Like, if we draw too many lands, this still just isn't going to do anything. Here, I'm going to play the Growth Chamber Guardian. Because if they play like a 2/2 for 2, I can attack just threatening the adapt. As opposed to this, which doesn't really do anything until we get a lot more mana going. Okay. Well. I wonder if they have a full mill deck or if they're just playing the wall. Dang, I would have liked to draw some of those cards. Oh well. If they block, I'm just going to use my turn growing this. Yep. And if not, that's fine. Now we kind of have an engine going, and a creature with a relatively cheap adapt cost, and this mage. Like, oh, well that's mean. Okay, we are really good at drawing lands this league. Less, that is okay. No tax. Unfortunately, this guild mage doesn't really do anything if you don't have other creatures going on, but that's fine. Wow, that's really good. Luckily, we get to blow that out a little bit. Whatever. So this should fizzle. Yeah. Oh, I messed up. I needed to do that and then activate this, and then Growth Chamber Guardian would have gotten a counter. Well, I don't even know if that's really a mistake, just because like, then we couldn't pay the adapt costs on this, so we couldn't even attack through this wall. Now, the question is, do we adapt this and move a counter, or do we play our spider? I think they're just going to play the deputy again, so I don't think we want to give them one of our better targets. I'm just going to go ahead and pass. Hopefully, like, this is enough. Like, we can just take over the game with our big 5-drops. Sure, I'll let them choose a target. They gonna bounce my other creature or something? Sure, man. Alright, that's fine. Flying, because we don't have one of those. That didn't really do anything. So, what shall we do here? We can play one of our 5-drops, or we can play the Guild Mage and the Aeromunculus, or we can just do one or the other. This game's kind of in a holding pattern, nothing's really happening. I'm gonna play the Chillbringer to start applying pressure. I would really like to, at some point, yeah, sure, that one. Get the Guild Mage down and be ready to activate before playing the Mammoth Spider, because this being a 4-power creature will be, like, gain 2 life or loot. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, this being a 4-power creature will be important for its ability to attack through this wall. So yeah, now we have the big flyer. They've got some creatures on board, but their creatures don't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and play out the Combine Guildmage and the Aeromunculus, because activating this to put an additional counter on here isn't very good, since the Aeromunculus has Adapt anyway. This also blocks well. So, we're in a good spot. If they play something really ridiculous, we might be in trouble. Otherwise, I think we're going to be fine. They might be flooding out a bit here. Okay. I'm just gonna take one. I don't need to lose any of my creatures to a combat trick. And 1 damage is irrelevant, considering how much pressure we're applying. The first thing I'm gonna do is attack with my flyers. Cool. And then I am going to activate this. So creatures enter with an extra counter. And then attempt to play my spider. Cool. Now we have by far the biggest creature on the board. We have flyers. We've got an engine. We're ahead by like every metric. Okay, it looks like they're going to bounce our spider, but that's fine. Normally, this would be a blowout. Like, we spent our entire turn, 7 mana, setting up that 4/6. But we're winning the race. Like, them spending cards to set us back in mana is irrelevant when they're dying so quickly in the air. If positions were reversed and they were attacking with the flyers, that would be terrible for us, because we'd really need this to stick. But as is, we are a-okay. And this is good because even without adding, like adapting or anything like that, even if they activate the Senate Guildmage to gain 2 life, they're still dead to our flyers next turn. So I'm just going to run back the previous turn's play, because that's fine. Tapping mana. Go ahead and counter my spider. That's fine. Gonna need something better than that. Oh, just getting an extra loot. That's funny. Alternatively, they might have considered using that Stony Strength to untap this and just gain 2 life, because that would change the clock. It would put them up to 7, and then I couldn't kill them. Actually, I could, because I can activate the Aeromunculus, making this a 3, and I could move the counter from here to there. Holy crap, they got 2 of these? That is gross. Okay, they're no longer dead on board. Oh, well now they are. Suppose. Yeah, let's just go ahead and attack with this. And I am going to go for the win. They've already burned a bunch of bounce spells and stuff. I don't think they're going to have it. Cool! Alright, I believe that makes us 2-1. Simic deck did its thing again. Ready to move on. Okay, 4th match. Yeah, I'm still happy with the build, and mostly happy with how it's performed. This hand is fine. We don't have any of our adept creatures or any spells, but we do have some evasive threats, and this can trade for something relatively big, so hopefully we don't just get run down. I'm still not sure how Azorius is supposed to play in this format. What does this do again? Okay, can slowly drain us out or can tap big creatures, but that's kind of irrelevant against us. Like, none of our creatures get that big. Well, they can, but like for the most part we're winning with like 2 and 3 power flyers. So this is kind of just a 2/2. Okay. What's this? Oh, I can look at it when it's in the graveyard. Okay, sure. They've got a lot of cantrips. I don't know how good that is. They've got that. That's kind of annoying to race, but whatever. Ooh, so this will be a good spot for our Fairy Duelist. Because what I'm going to do next turn, Incubation Druid is really kind of cool in that it fixes for double colors. So even though I drew the island this turn, if I hadn't, the fact that I have island, forest, forest, and the druid means I can cast this griffin. I don't think we want that. Maybe we do. Even if our druid dies, it lets us... Ugh, I'm not sure. I'm gonna bottom it. I think we'll find a 5th land eventually. Oh, but what I'm saying is, eventually I'm gonna attack with this Senate Griffin, and normally the Grasping Thrall would be an ideal candidate to trade for this, but Fairy Duelist doesn't makes that not a trade anymore. Okay. Well, I'm glad I bottomed the other thing. Let's go ahead. Okay, they seem to have nothing going on here. So, I can play the island and prepare to activate my Incubation Druid to make it a 3/5. I could play my Chillbringer, or I can Simic Guildgate in one of the smaller creatures. I think I kind of want to leave this up. I I don't know if that's right. That doesn't protect against the 2 mana deal 5 if it's their main phase. I'm just gonna pass. I think making this into a 3/5 is good enough that... Like, I'm not giving up a huge amount by not playing the Steeple Creeper yet, or something like that. Okay, sure. Figured that was going to happen. They attack, it will not end well for them. This does take 5, right? Yeah. Am I missing something? Nope. I think they just didn't read what this card can do. Okay. So, now what do we do? I think I'm just going to attack with both of these. No. This is where I'm really getting punished, because I really kind of want to just Chillbringer this. But that doesn't use our mana very efficiently. We have 7 available to us. I would really like to just attack with both and hope they block and then get the Fairy Duelist, but I don't know if they're going to, and I don't super love the race after this taking us down to 14. Yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then I can either just opt into a race, commit another threat, and start trying to go to town, or I can pass and try to, like, Fairy Duelist plus Gift of Strength to eat this, or even just Fairy Duelist to make this a 1/3, like, bump with it, and then Chillbringer to run away with the race. Yeah, I think I'm just going to pass again. On one hand, playing the untapped land instead of the Simic Guildgate last turn let us eat their Guildmage for free, which is, like, pretty awesome. But on the other hand, it made this turn really awkward. I really would have liked to just Chillbringer, tap this down, smash for 6, then prepare to smash for 9. Okay. Well, again, they're really getting punished for doing everything on their first main phase, because I wouldn't really feel comfortable doing this if they had mana up. Like, they're in colors to really mess me up for this, but instead I just get to eat their big creature. So, I can play this and activate it, play this and activate it, plus play this, or these two. I think that's our best bet, just commit maximum power to the board. If they have a Kaya's Wrath, we're gonna lose, but I am fine playing into that. I will lose to random Rare Sweeper. That card is annoying, but luckily we are prepared. No? God, it keeps wanting to tap my creature. I really don't want to tap my 3/5. I already know that I'm just losing to a Kaya's Wrath, so here I'm just going all in. Now we have a bunch of evasive damage. Like, even if they played 10 ground creatures, we still have them dead in the air. Got some Evolve on board, or Adapt on board. Cool. Worked out. Sweet. 3-1? Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting a full return on investment on my first draft in this format. Unfortunately, I think we have to mulligan this on the play. If we hit a green, this hand is actually really good, but if we don't hit a green, it's just too bad. Oh, God. This is sort of the same way, but we're already down to 6, and we get a Scry to try and find a blue. And even on 1 blue, this hand's pretty good. This can loot away, like, Thought Collapse and find us something else to do. I think 5 is too bad. Definitely don't want the only 6 mana card in our deck. Oh boy. Sweet. I think I'm just going to play the Biomancer here. Growth Spiral, not super good unless you have a land to put into play. leaving up Fairy Duelist is just kind of a non-thing. Oh, wow, okay. Just magma spraying our 1-drop? Alright. Yeah. Now I will just pass, because there's no reason to play either of these at sorcery speed. Not feeling super good about this. They answered our 1-drop, and our hand just doesn't have a lot going on. Let's see if they give this haste, or a counter. If they give it haste, Fairy Duelist is about to make them sad. They did not, so instead we are the ones who are sad. Oh no! We didn't have a land to put in. Oh, and we don't have double blue. Rough. Oh well. Maybe this card can save us, as it has so far. This card is so good in Limited. Like, it's just kind of like a worse Druid of the Cowl, except then it turns into a 3/5. Like, that's been really awesome every time we've done it. Here I could Fairy Duelist, but then it's just making it a 1/2. We can only bounce with it. That's not good. That's not what I'm in the market for, so. Basically, we're hoping they don't do anything too scary this turn, and then we can start leaving up our powerful instant speed stuff. If they play a really good 4-drop here, we're probably just gonna die. I don't know if that counts. Maybe? I mean, it's only a 2-drop, so obviously, but... I almost want to, like, play Fairy Duelist just to threaten to trade with this, but I don't think that's good. Okay. Okay, we can keep hitting our land drops. And here, this is actually a good spot because I can adapt this without tapping itself. So then after I adapt it, I'll have Thought Collapse up. I could also... So basically, I think I want to adapt this right now so I don't get blown out by them, I don't want to get blown out by them, like, responding. Like, I block, and then I try to adapt, and they kill it with something. That would just be a disaster, because then I don't have Thought Collapse up next. But as is, I have the best creature on board, and I'm holding up a hard counter, so this could be okay. Even this only pumps up to a 4/3, so, like, this can't attack safely. Yeah, I didn't think so. Cool. Oh, sweet. That is the best card we could have drawn, because now we get to commit a threat to the board and still hold down the board like we did last turn. So, hopefully this can find us something else cool to do. Definitely not a forest. No attacks. And turn. So yeah, we have the board dominated. None of their creatures can attack into this one. That card, let's see. If we Fairy Duelist it down to a 4/5, it still attacks pretty well into our stuff. Well, I don't love this. Target a spell. Okay, I had to go into full control mode there because I had to make sure that it didn't tap all 3 blue, because basically I wanted the Fairy Duelist to be able to slow them down enough. Oh boy, we've drawn a lot of lands again. Yeah, I'm gonna hold this back to threaten to trade with, like, the 2/1. I don't think the 1 damage is as irrelevant as holding back there too. So we had to burn our counter, which I don't love, but I don't think we were beating this card easily without it. So. Gate Colossus. Wow. That is a big boy. That is a problem. Well, now I changed my mind. This can't block the 8/8 anyway, so let's go ahead and smack in for some damage. Oh, damn it! Ugh, That's my fault, I wasn't paying attention, but I have no idea why the game is so eager to tap Incubation Druid. Like, in general, the auto-tapper prioritizes lands over... Yeah, sure. It prioritizes lands instead of creatures. Like, if I cast a spell and I have 2 Llanowar elves, it'll tap my lands before the elves. But when I have a 3/5, it really wants my 3/5 to be tapped on my opponent's turn. And I'm not sure why it does that so aggressively. Please just attack with this. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yep, sure. I'm gonna trade with the 3/2 here. I think we're probably dead. And we're only, like, a little more dead because of that mistake. Like, I think we were probably gonna lose to this 8/8 anyway. Oh my gosh. And then they have a Biogenic Ooze. Oh boy. Yep. Flooded out real bad, and their deck is a lot better than ours. Okay, 3/2. Let's see if we can battle back. Okay. We're against the wall. Back's against the wall. This hand's fine. Growth Spiral can accelerate us into our Mammoth Spider. We have 4 lands in place, so we're guaranteed to actually get value off of this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play an untapped land, and then Growth Spiral can put in our Simic Guildgate. Then our mana is just awesome. Would love to draw into Frilled Mystic here. That is okay too. Huh. This is more efficient than playing and activating this. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm not quite ready to adapt the Spy yet, but I think that's fine. They are not really doing anything over there. That's also fine by me. Again, I'm gonna just use our mana more efficiently, just play out our big spider. So, I could adapt this and chunk in for 7. I wanted to hit our 6th land drop, but I probably don't want to activate this until we draw land 7, so we can loot it away. So, what I think I'll do... attack with these, and then I'm going to play the Benthic Biomancer, and I'm going to play this Brush Strider, so we're still leaving up Applied Biomancy. But I'm not going to activate this, even if they do nothing. I don't want to waste the loot when we might be able to turn a blank land into a powerful card later. Turn 5, and they still haven't done anything. That's really weird. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This doesn't make it lethal, so I guess I can just pass? They don't do anything, I can activate the Skatewing Spy? This is super weird. Yeah, okay. That's one of the weirder games of Magic I've ever played, but I guess I'll take the win. Alright. We only need 2 more wins to break even as far as gems. And then I basically just gotten a bunch of free cards. So that would be fun. This hand is not perfect. It needs another blue, but the upside is high enough that I'm happy with it. This just feels so good for a common. Like, I kind of want to draw this card every single game. And then this is one of the best cards in our deck. Okay, we hit our 2nd blue. Sweet. If they have even a kind of slow start, I think we're in a very good spot. If I can land this and start pressuring with it, and then be holding up double counter while also threatening to adapt and turning it into just a big creature, I think we'll be in a very good spot. Okay. This is basically their last turn to do something really good, or else we're going to be in pretty commanding position. Okay, 3 color. Acrobat. That's fine, I think. Huh. Interesting. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to play around that. For now, I'm just going to proceed as planned. Like, we're not winning the race on board, and if they just do nothing and keep activating this, I might be sad. but we're the ones holding up counters and have this ability, so I think we are going to pull ahead as long as I don't, like, do something weird. Yeah, sure. Whenever a non-token creature's on... Huh. That seems annoying. That seems really good in Limited, where all your cards have the same... or all your cards have different names, because you don't have that many copies of anything, so, yeah. Now, like I said, they didn't even activate the Acrobat, they just played this card. So now we've got counters up and we're attacking for a lot more than they are, so. Hopefully they'll tap out for some 5-mana card. Huh, they didn't do anything. That's my least favorite option for what they could have done. Destroy target creature, scry 1, sure. Or Homunculus. Alright, now I am going to get aggressive. This basically gives them 1 turn to do something powerful. And if they don't, they are going to die to these very quickly. Almost. Like, that doesn't block our 3/3, so. Play land, whatever. They might trade here, but I'm okay with that. The Chillbringer can finish the game on its own. And particularly, I'm okay blocking here because this gets the reach creature out of the way, which both makes it more likely that Chillbringer can do it, and actually, I'm about to play a lethal threat. Because this can gain flying whenever I want it to. And now they don't have on board any creatures that can block my lethal 7 in the air. And we have a counterspell in case they play exactly 1 creature that can. No blocks. I have stayed way ahead in the race this game. That card doesn't matter, so I'm not going to waste a counter or tap low on it. That card also does not matter. My turn. I would like my 4-power creature to fly, please. Yeah! Alright. Well, score 1 for Steeple Creeper. We won a game because of its activated ability. Okay. Back's still against the wall, but we are only 2 wins away from that coveted 7, and only 1 win away from breaking even, so. Oof. This hand's really unimpressive. Maybe we're not supposed to have this card in our deck at all. Maybe I'm supposed to play, like, the Locket, because at least it can draw some cards. But I kind of want to ship this. I think our deck wants to get ahead early. This hand needs lands, but overall I think is better. Oh, we haven't drawn that guy all league. Okay. If we draw a forest next turn, I think we're just in a good spot. Like, we can get the Guild Mage going and start doing powerful things. Well, it's not exactly what I wanted, but... The question is, if they attack with this, do I just make it an 0/2 and then start planking them? I don't know. I think I do, because there's 2 ways to look at this card. You can either do it to save damage, and it becomes like a sort of tempo card, or you can do it to make a combat go in your favor, and it becomes basically a combat trick that can turn into card advantage. And this time, I don't think our... This game, I don't think our problem is with, like, not having enough stuff to do. We've got plenty of stuff to do. Our problem is if we keep missing green, we're just gonna get run over and die. Well. Man, I would really like a green, because we could at least block and Gift of Strength, but... Okay. One of their cards spent on a low-impact card. If we make it to the last match, I think I might take this card out of our deck. Oh boy. We just Like, one green and our hand kind of goes nuts, and I would really like for that to happen. Hell, even just another island, and at least we can Chillbringer and start attacking in the air. Oh my. Wow. That is much better than anything that was in our deck. I think we're dead now. Just never hit green. They played a really good card. Also, note, all of our removal is, like, uniquely bad against this card. We have, like, Bounce and Tuck. Yeah, like, what, are we gonna return their Hydroid Crassus to their hand? No. Okay. Anticlimactic way for us to die. We even had, like, above average mana because of the 2 Simic Guild Gates, but I don't know, maybe if I kept that 6, things go differently, but I don't think, or the 7? I don't think so, though. Because, like, even this spider just matches up so poorly against that Krasis. So, yeah. 5 and 3. We had a pretty good deck that I liked, but it really stumbled a few times. So, maybe Simic needs something else going for it. Maybe you need, like, a critical mass of 2 and 3 drop creatures that we just didn't have. I will be doing a bunch more sealed, and I'm sure I'll post another video. But probably the next thing you'll see will be some constructed. Anywho, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see this and lots of new standard content coming up, you should subscribe to the channel. It helps you see all of the things we release and helps other people find it. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.